Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this week's Community Spotlight. I know I say this every time, but I'm just really thrilled that we have such a wonderful group of nonprofits in the Oklahoma City area. And this one has got to be one of my personal favorites. So with me today, I have Meghan Mueller from the Homeless Alliance, which it's just one of the neatest business models for nonprofits I've ever seen. So, Meghan, thank you so much for taking time and sharing a little bit about what you do and your organization does for our community. Can you just say hi to everybody and tell them a little bit about you?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having us. We're excited. We always love telling anyone who will listen about what we're doing. So I've been at the Homeless Alliance for about 8 years. I think, like you said, it's just one of those places, like once you find out about the Homeless Alliance, it's tough to forget. It kind of gets under your skin. So our mission is rallying the community to end homelessness. We are just super passionate about the belief that people deserve homes, and that all of our friends and neighbors deserve the right to find that place that is their home. And so to that end, we are providing services to clients, but we're also, like our mission says, pulling together community partners from other nonprofits, and then beyond. So like you guys, like rallying the community means the whole community, right? It doesn't just mean our community of nonprofits. So yeah, we're very passionate about that collaborative model, and making sure that we're using the resources that we do have in Oklahoma City to their full advantage, to help people find home.
Well, homelessness is such a huge I don't want to say problem because I don't think I think that sells it short a little bit. It's complex. It's complicated.
Very
There are a
complex.
lot of reasons why somebody might find themselves homeless. And so it takes a lot of resources to combat those underlying issues. And I think you guys have done a great job of really working through and thinking through what truly happens when somebody is homeless and how to get them to that next phase out. So can you share some of your programs and how you do that? This is where I get really nerdy.
Yeah. yeah. So we do have several programs to address homelessness kind of across that spectrum, like you mentioned, because it is so complex. So we operate a campus, and on our campus, we actually have a day shelter. It's completely low barrier, so anyone is welcome to come in and get services. The day shelter provides basic needs like meals and showers, and it's just a safe place for people to come be indoors. Especially with the pandemic right now, a lot of public spaces are not open to people. So it's really one of the only places right now that people can actually access the indoors, which is just really kind of mind-boggling to think about. So the day shelter is a really important program that's really just meeting people that at that most basic level of need. We have other exciting programs like some of our housing programs that work specifically on that transition from homelessness into housing. We want to connect people to housing resources, but we want to make sure that we're not just putting people into housing and then leaving. We actually follow folks into their housing across that journey, and provide them with the support that they need to actually maintain that housing so that they never return to homelessness again. So we have about 20 case managers on staff that are working on that, working through those journeys with our clients. And then we also have some exciting employment programs like the Curbside Chronicle. So we will train people again in a very low barrier, low entry point kind of way to be vendors. So you may have seen our folks around town wearing green vests selling our magazine. We're really proud of the product. It's a great magazine. I would encourage any of you to pick one up if you see someone selling it. The content is really wonderful, but it's also helping someone move on that path towards self-sufficiency by helping them earn income. And so Curbside, the magazine, has been really successful and has actually prompted us to get involved in some other areas of employment. So we're expanding to flowers. We have some snow cone stands. So a lot of exciting stuff going on at the Homeless Alliance.
I love all of that. I love that. And we were talking a little bit before, and you were sharing what you're excited about right now. Can you share with our group what's super exciting for you right now?
Yeah. So I was just kind of sharing how, working in a nonprofit, there's always unique challenges, but the pandemic has really brought that to light in a way that none of us really could have ever anticipated. Um, and I was just saying, I think it's actually a really exciting time to be working in nonprofits, because we are watching our coworkers and our agencies flex and bend in ways that we just did not even know was possible, in order to meet basic needs. So, like, for example, at the very beginning of the pandemic, my coworkers and I were lifting thousands of pounds off of trucks, in food and water donations. Um, a lot of us were getting really buff at the beginning of the pandemic. So, just like really going outside of the realm of what we normally do in order to meet those basic needs. So it is really exciting. It's also really hard work. And we're doing all of this work in a climate that, because of the pandemic, is unfortunately not great for homelessness. We've seen a lot of people lose their jobs. We've seen a lot of people at risk of losing their housing because they've lost their jobs. And so we're working with people now, who've never had to even worry about the homeless care system. They've never been a part of it, and now they find themselves kind of smack in the middle of it. So there is exciting stuff going on, and it is inspiring to see nonprofits really go to great lengths to meet those needs. But again, like, we can't do it alone. It really takes that community effort.
I think you definitely hit on some major points there. The fact that we're all getting to be very innovative and creative is fun, but it's also very stressful.
Yeah.
And nonprofits are usually very slim teams to start with, and so you add all those additional challenges on there, and you're tossing out rule books and rewriting them. It is both a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, it's kind of the do more with less mentality a lot of times in nonprofits, which does lend itself to innovation and creativity, but it's challenging.
Love the fact that you guys work with so many other partners, because I think you're some of the best assistance you can give doesn't involve you writing a check. It's just connecting people to the right resources. And I just love the fact that you spend so much time and effort and invest in that, because it always makes for a better product at the end. Are there any cases? I mean, just having worked in nonprofits, there's always those situations or families or clients that you're working with that just kind of resonate with you. Do you have one you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, so just off the top, again, the pandemic and folks who are facing eviction because of the pandemic, like, those are kind of front and center for me right now. So I know, like, we've been working with a gentleman who was, sleeping outside as a result of job loss due to the pandemic. And we were able to get him connected to a new home, and he's moved in and has lived there for a couple of months. And I know, maybe a couple of weeks ago, he actually sent me a picture of him and his dog and cat in their home, and just said, like, we're home, we're safe, thank you so much. And again, I think that that's a story that we're hearing more and more of, is just people who were employed, were making good money, who weren't worried about where they were going to sleep, who then found themselves without a job, without income, and without a place to live. And so it's really powerful being able to help people find their way back home.
I think that's a wonderful example of what you guys do. Last question.
Okay.
How can people help you? Because looking at, forward, I think that you're right. The need is just going to increase, and if you read the news, you see that they're projecting a lot of evictions in the next 6 to 12 months. So what
Yep.
can we do to help you?
Yeah, I mean, so you kind of touched on it. Money never hurts. We always need money, but there's other stuff you can do. So I mentioned curbside. Buy a curbside from a vendor. Like that's supporting someone directly, and that's helping someone pay their rent. We're actually opening a brick and mortar flower shop as an expansion of our curbside program, and we're in the middle of a crowdsourcing campaign for a delivery vehicle for that flower shop. So that would also be an awesome way to contribute. We still have volunteers. So even though our operations look a lot different, we still rely on volunteers for things like packing meals. So we're serving still 2 meals a day out of our day shelter that they're actually being served in to-go containers. So we need people to help us pack those to-go containers so that we can get them out the door to the people who are hungry and needing that food. So there's still volunteer opportunities, and we would love for anyone who's interested in volunteering to reach out.
I think that is great. And we'll have more information in our Facebook post too, so that if people want to know where to go or
Yeah,
what you
for
guys
sure.
need, we can list it there. So, well, Megan, it's been so great talking to you. And again, I really appreciate the work that you and the rest of the team there at the Homeless Alliance do. And guys, if you have a chance, like she said, and you see somebody in a green vest with the curbside, please stop and pick up a copy. Those stories are so encouraging and make you feel really good about yourself and the community that you live in. So, just support any way that you can. And Megan, it was so good to meet you and really
Thank you
spend
so
some time with
much.
you. Look forward to working with you some more.
Yeah,
And
appreciate it.
and to all of you guys watching at home, thank you for joining us for this week's Community Spotlight. And until we can see you all at the ballpark again, I want you to have a great day.